Okay, good morning. Happy Monday morning for all of you early risers or late workers, whatever it may be. Those that can't sleep, people that just happen to be cruising by, stopping for a minute. We thank you here on this April the 20th as you get your day started, your week already in full swing after Sunday. Beautiful day, cooler, but boy, was the weather so very nice. And it's very cool this morning and probably one of the last times we'll see that. Honestly, we're fixing to hit the heat, and that's just the way it goes. We'll adapt, but it's kind of nice to step out and what could almost be light jacket weather. I mean, honestly, it's that cool this morning. I'm almost 20 degrees cooler than it had been. So, but happy Monday to you. Hope you have a great day out there. Hope that your day is filled with many blessings and joy. We had originally said we were going to be having, and we may still, we had found a date for two different folks that we think highly of to come together and out of ministry tonight. They had a hiccup in their schedule and things changed, but we have another group that picked the same day, and I've reached out to them, and I hope to have them tonight around 6, 7. We'll see. No, I hate to say those words together, those numbers together, but 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, we'll see. Pro life group, and I've been trying to work out a date with them for quite a while too. And hey, I'm glad they're busy. I mean, I'm glad that it's hard to find time. That means they've got a lot of good things going on for both of them. We will hook up with Doug and John and their ministries at a later date, but just didn't work out. We've been working on this for actually a few months, but they're all over the country, and it can be hard sometimes. So with travel and everything that they're doing, but we'll see. We'll get them in. God's timing, it's everything, and we're excited. We're excited to have them potentially on the show. They're always a blessing, and we just want to be a blessing to somebody. It's not about our show. It's about helping somebody and being a blessing to them and to me. Lord knows I need the same encouragement and uh, daily daily meditation and everything in the Word and prayer and everything as well. Speaking of that, our verse of the day. Let's get this on screen. I love these images. Share screen. Here we go. And here we go. And I love this one. You know what? This is one of those that when you think about being able to pray in the Holy of Holies, in the throne room, through the Holy Spirit, it's a powerful, powerful comfort. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Well, everybody needs that. I'm going to tell you what. We all go through trials and tribulations, ups and downs. If it's not us, it's the kids or the grandkids or siblings or friends, neighbors, someone we really care about. And it's just such a comfort to know that we can come together. And I mean come together with the Godhead and be able to pray and join with many thousands of others sometimes, or millions, depending on what the situation is, that we're taking our petitions unto the Lord and the great care and comfort that He will give unto them when we pray. And I mean, how many of us have been in hospital rooms, sitting beside a bedside, or maybe at home like I'm right now, and praying for grace and mercy and strength and all those things for my loved one, or a chapel somewhere, maybe even a hospital, or funeral home, and praying for family, praying with family. So it's just a great comfort. Pray for your day as you get started in your day. That I always pray that God will help me to be a witness. Help me divine appointment, that there will be that person or persons that cross my path that I can be a help and a comfort to, just by being there. And it's very comforting to people when you do pray for them and you tell them, "Hey, I'm praying for you," and I know what that means for me, and how much that's a comfort to me, especially these last few weeks and months. It is there's no words you could even describe to it other than it's a blessing. and to know that that people take the time out of their day to ask how my wife's doing or how I'm doing, and they ask for both. I mean, I'm thankful for that. They even remember me and the family, but we obviously want our prayers towards the wife, and it's of great comfort, and so we're to come boldly before the throne of grace, and so very thankful for that. So there's your verse of the day. Let's see here. Our national day today. Let's see what we got today. If we have, well, this does not feature. There's one. Maybe they've changed it up. That's what they've done. Now there's one. That's weird. Most days there are multiples, and maybe they just did it different. But they're celebrating Chinese Language Day. We do have a lot of. I know we have these ongoing problems with, when we think about the country of China, the communist leaders, but we have so many people of Chinese descent that are in our country and have had for decades, and that's. I know we talk about speaking English. I understand all that, but there are people that they new to the country or tourist or whatever, and you know they're trying to navigate or whatever, and trying to help them. So you find one person that kind of has somewhat some English, and you're trying to help them to translate to the rest. But it's a beautiful language. Let's see this day in history. Some facts, fun facts. In 1705, Queen Anne of England knighted the renowned scientist Isaac Newton at Trinity College, Cambridge, recognizing his contributions to physics and mathematics. 1705. 1912 marked a milestone in aviation when Harriet Quimby became the first female pilot to fly across the English Channel. Very early on, 1912. And in 1922, sharpshooter Annie Oakley set a woman's record by breaking 100 clay targets in a row. I've shot at clay targets. I did a bunch in a row. I don't remember if it was 100, but I'm sure I missed one within the 100. 1943, Swiss scientist Albert Hofmann discovered the psychedelic effects of LSD, a landmark in chemistry and psychology. 2008, rapper Kendrick Lamar became the first non-classical or jazz musician to win the Pulitzer Prize for Music. And in 2023 marked the closing of Broadway's longest running show, Phantom of the Opera, after 13,981. Oh, could we not just not see more? Got it to 14,000. Anyway, they closed it, and that had won 7 Tony Awards. It's 2017. A world record was set for the largest gathering of Charlie Chaplin lookalikes. 662 of them in Switzerland. April 17th, a few days before now, was associated with scientific and cultural developments, including the availability of insulin for diabetes treatment. So a lot of dates in history, a lot of important things. A few birthdays I wanted to recognize today before we chit chat. One of the ones I wanted to mention was Jessica Lange. So I heard a lot of things. 76 years old today. Happy birthday to her. Carmen Electra, 53. Who else do I know here? Joey Lawrence is 49 today. Boy, I feel like George Takei. He looks feeble. He's had some health problems. 88. Don't agree with his lifestyle. But that's his life, not mine. But he's 88. Enjoyed him in the Star Trek series. Anybody else I wanted to mention? I think there was one more. Maybe not. And maybe not. So we'll leave that for another day. And we know that over the weekend there was some activity. The Iranians said that they were going to close the strait. We knew that was coming. But the U.S. has seized a ship. They shot a hole in one for not listening as the blockade was set. The U.S. on Newsmax here, U.S. attacked and seized an Iranian flagged cargo ship They said they tried to evade the blockade. That's not too wise. This big lumbering cargo ship. I mean, really, not too wise. We saw the video. Not too wise to do that. You get several little announcements, a little couple of shots across the bow. That means, okay, the next one's coming, or they're going to target your engine or whatever. And that's what they did. So it was, I saw the name of it yesterday. I don't remember now what it is. The U.S. has announced negotiators are headed back to Pakistan, Islamabad, I guess. Don't know if the Iranians will show up. There a little patience here, as was mentioned on Mark Levine's show last night. A little patience. Victor Davis Hanson as well, and a general listened to on the show talking about it's costing them out the nose right now because they can't make money, and to keep the pressure up, and they will have to they will be forced into, described as the foot on the neck. Just keep the pressure up. They're not going to be able to keep going. The people are going to get antsy. Things are going to happen. And we're not having to actually do anything except maybe a couple of shots to a cargo ship. Just keep the pressure on. And this has been very effective. They've already silenced their airways. Mostly the Navy's gone. Leadership is decimated. There's probably a little bit of challenge to power in the nation already. Various voices, even though they've named one, he can't move around. I would say there's little chinks in the armor, little people breaking away. There'll be some people breaking away that do not want to be charged with crimes. If things keeps going south, they'll start trading their loyalties to the organization they're standing with, and they'll be looking for a pass out and saying, "Hey, look, I'm done." Just keep the pressure on a little bit longer. So anyway, they're going back today, and we'll see what happens out of that. It was a U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer in the Gulf of Oman warned the Iranian flagship, the Tuska, that's what it was, Tuska, to stop, and then stop them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. And did you see the hole? It's a big hole. I doubt there's much left in the engine room. U.S. Marines had cussed the U.S. sanctioned vessel and were seeing what's on board, according to the president. It's not clear whether anyone was hurt. Sitcom, which did not answer questions, said the destroyer had issued repeated warnings over a 6-hour period. So it wasn't like they said, "Hey, stop, boom." They just kept ignoring it. So, you know what? You're stupid. No comment from Iranian officials directly addressing Trump's announcement of talks. However, Iranian state media, without citing anyone beyond unnamed sources, of course not, issued brief reports suggesting that they would not happen. Minutes after the ship's seizure was announced, Iranian state media reported on President Masoud Pezeshkian's phone conversation with Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif earlier Sunday. U.S. sanctions, including bullying and unreasonable behavior, have led to increased suspicion that the U.S. will repeat previous patterns and betray diplomacy. Okay. Have it your way. So we'll see what happens out of that. I don't suspect much. Just keep the pressure on, and we will see. Vice President J.D. Vance who led the first round of talks, will lead this U.S. delegation to Pakistan with envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. Iran on Saturday said it had received new proposals from the United States, while Iran's chief negotiator, Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Qualibaf, said Saturday there will be no retreat in the field of diplomacy. Well, these are nice words, but I don't know that he can back that up. But anyway, he acknowledged a wide gap remained between the sides, of course, because you've not said you agree to anything, basically. And so anyway, we'll see where that goes. Trump's announcement on talks repeated his threats against Iranian infrastructure that have drawn widespread criticism and warnings of war crimes. This is just nothing's different that's ever happened before. You can throw all that in there all you want, but it's infrastructure, command and control, and yes, power. All that has always been targeted in ongoing operations. They're not dropping bombs on cities and just doing carpet bombing of citizens or nothing like that. And I know people are complaining about the school. I don't know the end result of that. I don't know who did it. People throwing videos at me, but you know what? Anybody make a video, and so we'll just continue to let it's happened. This is not going to. That's not going to change no matter what. It's amazing how often people send me videos and stuff of people that hate certain people, and then they ignore the videos of the Iranians and everything they've done. They just ignore it. Anyway, we'll just throw that out there. The United States is going to knock out every single power plant, every single bridge in Iran. He said, of course, the president always escalates like this, then backs off. But they have hit some. And so ongoing, need some pressure. This is an ongoing article. I'll not read all of it, but we will see where it goes. So we can handle some energy costs going up. Nobody likes it, but I think they will continue. You know, we've paid way above 3 before, even 4, and it's probably going to be that way into the next year. So it is what it is, but we'll roll with it. So we still don't have the hard times they went through in World War II and some of the things and the restrictions and everything that they were going on. Your stamps and your rations and all that stuff you can only get certain things on certain days and only so much. We're not there. So they definitely went through a much tougher time during those days. And of course, during the Depression, things like that. So we'll see. I've got elections coming up. I'm getting election updates every day. I mean, we got primaries will be coming on soon, the midterms, and then, of course, elections in November. But the primaries will be coming on. Like I say, every day I'm getting at least 2. Yesterday, a survey, I didn't do it. I've done several, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do another one. But I've done several. I try to do my part. Different PACs are doing those. But it'll heat up in Georgia again. There's still ongoing, in every several states, 36, isn't it? Changing governors, something like that. So there's a lot be going on. It's going to be a heavy time. And then this will pick up steam going towards the presidential election in 2 more years. So, and that's another thing that was pointed out. Any agreements that are made with Iran will never be, once the president leaves, especially if it changes parties, those agreements will not be honored. They won't be honored by Iran either. Those agreements won't be worth the paper they're written on. A ceasefire can be a ceasefire, but if you don't get everything you want, we have the upper hand, we have the leverage, we need to make it happen, get a hold of the uranium, and if regime change happens, that's great. It'd be awesome for the region. These people are horrible, the leaders, the leadership. We've dealt a blow, but none of that will matter. It will all go away if we don't stay the course. So it would all be for naught, and we need to make that count. And I agree with that because that's what we see. We see one administration they'll and it doesn't matter which side, they will all bank on, we're doing this, we're changing this from the last administration, we're making America this or that. If it's with the President Trump, it's making America great again. Others, the Democrats, will say we're taking, giving the people a voice again. They'll all have little catchphrases they say. But then when the next one comes in, they'll just reverse it as much as they can. And that's what we get. And we're kind of stuck in the middle of this tennis match. And some things are codified to a degree, and it takes, 3/4 act of Congress or something, which is almost impossible to get anymore. But most things are just reversed under executive order. And I've been the first to say many times, the executive action of the president is out of control. I'm talking about any president. This has been ongoing in our country for a long time. The president should have a certain leeway, sure. But this is what it's become. We elect a new leader, and they have the stack of books on their desk, and they make a big show, and they're writing all these executive orders. And this does bypass Congress. And I know that, again, I'm for some of those things. But there should be some sort of limits. I mean, it's kind of like, I'm just kidding, but in baseball they can tap their hat or their helmet and say, I'm going to challenge the call. The president should have limits on this. It is out of control, and both sides do it. and it's ridiculous. And every side, it doesn't matter what the party is, have used executive action to force their way to get things done, very quickly, and it's just out of control. I mean, and sometimes the Democrats have done more than the Republicans. I mean, there's been a lot of executive action over the last 3 or 4 administrations. I mean, a heck of a lot. And I cringe when I hear it. I mean, and people cheer like, "Oh, yeah, she's going to get things done," but then the next one comes along that doesn't have your values, and you see it happen the reverse way. Then everybody's going, "Oh my gosh!" And that's what happens. One side's happy, one side's mad, and then there's some sides that are probably upset with the whole thing because it is out of control. There's so many that are. I mean, so many times there's things. I mean, sometimes you may think it's good, some bad, but that's the problem is we have one person making all the decisions, and it does bypass Congress. And I'm just against it, except for a certain level. There has to be certain latitudes given to the president, but it's out of control. My opinion. That's Dave. Can disagree with me, but I just think that the executive actions are way out of control over the last few administrations, and it goes way back. I mean, this has been going on for a long time, and that the threat of a national emergency. What can happen, and all of them have written this in. That it's written in the things that the president has control of in the event of a national emergency. It's a little scary. So we hope that never happens. But anyway, I just think that we got to stay the course there. You're already there. Get it finished, and then keep the strait open, international waters. They lay the mines. That's basically what they do. They've got a few fast boats, but those can be knocked out pretty quickly. You know, how long before cargo ships are being outfitted with offensive weapons? Good morning, Watchman. How are you on this Monday morning? I hope you had a great weekend. Uh, Enjoyed the day. Sunday, it was uh, democracy is two wolves and sheep voting on what to have for dinner. Oh, well said. I had a good day with the wife yesterday. I did go online for a while. We talked some sports, and of course did the Sunday morning. And I watched the race. The end of the race, very exciting. And I didn't watch the Braves because they're on Peacock. I don't have that, and I haven't got the Braves Vision yet. But we watched a few things. It was good. Just good. We appreciate the time we have and the days we have together, and enjoying those things and maximizing our time together. And the granddaughter. And it was just a lovely day. And I hope go back to work. Got so much to get done at work, and get some things done today, and get the day started off on the right foot. Got the little pad over here with things. I'll be making my list of things to work on today, and try to get some things accomplished. I hope. But Tyler Reddick, I mean, good win for him. 5 wins. He's what, three? Only three others have this far in the season have won five. Richard Petty, Kel Yarborough, and somebody else. I don't remember who it was. It's amazing. Michael Jordan loving the moment. He just says, "Hey, I supply the money and they do the work." But it's pretty cool. I would have been happy with Larson winning, or it was a nice finish. There was a couple of guys, but it was a good clean race. Kansas City, beautiful weather. Hope people got outside and enjoyed it. Saturday night we had some pretty good rain here, but then it kind of straightened up. Let's see here. And a tragedy, and I failed to mention it. I didn't know about it at the time I went on. This horrible shooting in Louisiana. I don't know how could you ever snap to the point that you kill 8 of your kids, excuse me, aged 1 to 12, dead. How in the world? Shamar Elkins had some army backgrounds, my understanding. I don't know a lot about the story. I just heard it. It's horrible. Um, Especially life is life, but especially being kids. I just can't imagine. Um, I mean, it's just unbelievable. It started before sunrise in downtown Shreveport. The suspect shot a woman at one home and then drove to another location where his heinous act was carried out. 7 children were killed inside the second house, and one was found dead on the roof after trying to escape, apparently. State Representative Tammy Phelps said some children tried to get away through the back door. Can't even imagine what the police officers, first responders actually dealt with when they got here today. I'm telling you, it will mess with them the rest of their lives. You know, the 2 wounded women were in critical condition. Lisa Deming, who lives 2 houses down from most of the victims, were shot, said her security camera captured video of the suspect running away, along with the sound of 2 shots. Um, that's pretty much all I saw. Him was him running out of the house and the cars leaving. Deming later went outside and saw the covered body of a child on the home's roof. She said she did not know the gunman's name. He looks like the dad that comes over here, adding that he was just with the children a few days ago. Pastor Marty Johnson Sr. of nearby St. Gabriel Community Baptist Church, who owns one of the homes where the shootings occurred, said a person who works for him had rented it to the family, but he never had dealings with them. I don't really know them. I really don't. I do plan on having a prayer vigil for the family, and anything I can do with so many children to help them bury the children, I'm going to do so. Horrible. Caddo Parish Coroner's Office released a statement on Sunday saying it was not releasing any of the children's names, obviously, until the victims are notified. It was a domestic. But how does this? I mean, I don't know how you could even do that. I mean, yeah, I know demon possession. I mean, Watchmen, it's definitely. But that's why it's hard for us to even fathom that right there. I mean, my God, that's your daddy. I mean, seriously, they just. It was a case that goes back to 25. They just convicted the dad who shot in over a dang movie. Out of all things, it was Fireproof, the Christian movie, the base movie, arguing with the wife. He was a fireman. He didn't like the way the fireman was being portrayed because the fireman had trouble. That's the whole point of the movie, was him getting right. And ends up shooting the mom in front of the kids, and then shooting the little boy and his boy, and then telling the girl to get out of there. He just went to prison for like 3 life terms. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Horrible. Police Chief Wayne Smith said, I just don't know what to say. My heart is just taken aback. I cannot begin to imagine how such an event could occur. Shreveport has about 180,000 residents. The mayor said it's a horrible morning, terrible morning. So anyway, pray for all the extended family and people that knew these folks. God, just horrible. That's the kind of news, that. I mean, we have deaths every day and murders every day in America somewhere, but you don't normally hear of something like that. Just horrible. Prayers for them. I seen somewhere where Russia's leader Putin made a threat on America about Iran. So again, he likes to get out and beat the chest a little bit. 2 soldiers were seriously injured in an Alaska bear encounter. I hadn't heard this. It was they were doing a training exercise at their at the military installation up there. The soldiers assigned the 11th Airborne Division were participating in a land navigation training exercise at Joint Base Elmendorf Richardson. When they encountered the animal, according to an Army statement, they said the soldiers were equipped with bear spray and deployed it during the encounter. A few details about the incident unfolded. Of how the incident unfolded are immediately released. It's currently under investigation. So you're not only you're doing your duties and your drills and whatever else, and you encounter the bear. That's a whole nother level of excitement when you're out there doing that. Both soldiers sustained serious injuries but received prompt treatment and were transported to a medical facility in Anchorage. Both showed signs of improvement but are expected to require ongoing care for a full recovery. The condition and whereabouts of the bear were not immediately known. He got out of Dodge. That's what's known. He said, "You're in my territory." Usually, usually you make enough noise, and especially the bear spray and all, they'll move along. They're not really looking for that. Something, maybe, maybe some young ones were nearby. They can cause them. That's happened to hikers up on the Smokies and stuff like that. There's been a couple of times where there has been, unfortunately, a couple. I don't know how many. I remember one lady who died, but I think, and that's what sometimes happens. You just don't know. You know, that's why you got to be put your food up and all that. You get in front of their food they're after and all that. You're right, brother. They need deliverance, absolutely. So many people are just. I mean, we see it in leadership, you know, of our nation. We see, people that are elected to serve. They're just full on crazy, evil. And the world's full of it. We're getting closer to the Lord coming back. I'm thankful for it. Praise God for that because it is getting ugly out there. Um, Ernest, sorry I missed you. I had a screen up. It's Monday afternoon in Pakistan. Well, you're going to get to have our people come your way. Taking tea and watching my American podcast. Well, thank you for stopping in this one. Media is hiding his picture. His name, Shamar Elkins, is a black guy. I did see a little bit, but his wife was in the process of divorce, so he seemingly took it out on others. Maybe were all his kids. I think all of them were, but I don't know if all of them were hers, that one person's. Most of them were, I think. Thank you for that. So he did say domestic, but my goodness, and I know people. We had that case here in Northwest Georgia where the 911 operator was killed. The guy said he didn't do it, but they could not find the body. They convicted him without the body. Then they found the body. But most of that were, and people, where he was a police officer, and their marriage had broke up, but there was evidence where he was tracking her, and what I think it boiled down to in this domestic, he met her. He was mad his dad had died, and he didn't want her getting any of the money out of it. They were separate in the process of divorce, I guess. I think it boiled down to he did not want her to get anything of his dad's, and he was also jealous that she was maybe had seen other people, and we maybe went even out of I know they brought up Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg was brought up. I think he had tracked her or was stalking her or something like that. I don't remember exactly. I don't want to say wrong, but it is it can bring out the worst in people, in some people. It's kind of like if I can't have you, nobody will. But dadgum, you kill all the kids. I mean, we see things like that. It's horrible to even think that somebody would, do something like that. Hey, broski, somebody give me some coffee. I'm going to definitely need more. Ernest Own and my book film critique is published. So if you have any fans of old sci-fi horror and thriller movies, tell them to look for Screenscope with Ernie, Volume 1. What can we find that on? Screenscope with Ernie, Volume 1. It's published with Lulu Press. So fans, we'll try to highlight that for you, brother. Always want to help. If you'd like to come on sometime and talk about that, that's cool. There we go. Oh, and my book of film critique is published. So you have any fans of old sci-fi horror and thriller movies, that would be cool. Screenscope with Ernie, Volume 1. Means there's going to be a Volume 2, brother. Published with Lulu Press. Ernie, Volume 1. Lulu Press. We can find that. Yes, broski. Just throwing some different information together. I've heard he was ex-Army, I think. I don't think he was current. He could have been. I think it was ex, though. Ernest says he was going through a divorce. They were definitely domestic. I mean, my God. Went up on the roof. They thought to kill one trying to get away. I mean, yes, because I'm boycotting Amazon. Okay, no problem. I get it. So Lulu Press. So I like that. But yeah, just a horrible, horrible thing. And this is one, he was killed after he ran, right? I think he's not even alive, right? Because I was going to say they need to have a quick hearing on this one. So, but that's just horrible. I mean, just horrible. I pulled up Lulu there, so that's cool. I'll look at that when I get off the air. Thank you for letting me know about that. We'll see if we can pull that up. I'll tell others about this. We'll try to find that here in a minute. So, da-da-da. I've got 3 books right now. I need actually more than that, but 3 main ones I need, or maybe 4, 4 that I need to be. I'm working on them, but I need to get finished up. Um, some really good books. I was trying to get into one. I've got one. I have the authors on of one of them. 2 of them had the authors on, or 3 of them. I want to get this other guy back up and talk about his book. It's a fascinating book about a undefeated. It was the one we talked about from Pennsylvania, I think it was undefeated, untied, unscored upon, all that, whatever. Um, I've started on it, enjoying it very much so. The game, the last game, kind of went through a little bit. It was fascinating to hear parts of it, how small the school was versus the last team they were playing, and the guy paints a great picture of that. He showed some old pictures that he had gotten, and I think it's funny. One of the things he mentions is everybody that you talk to says they were there, but he shows a picture of the crowd. There's no way. But isn't it funny people say that? Oh yeah, I was there. It's like they so want to be a part of it. It's like there's 60,000, and there wasn't this. I think I don't remember what it was, but let's say there's 50,000 fans that can hold in a stadium, and there'll be a million said they were there. I think they meant they watched it or they heard about it or they identify with it, but they're not there. He carjacked someone after and drove away, and police chased him down. But he is dead. I didn't catch that part in that article. I think he was shot, right, because he wasn't going to go down. And do we know what he was using for a weapon? I haven't heard that either. Or weapons? I don't think I heard that either. Not that it matters, but I was just curious. And it's going to be a lot of. I mean, there's going to be a lot of needs, a lot of things people are going to need out of. It's not my book, Ernest. It's a guest we had on. I'll get it on the air and have to show you. It's about a football team that went. They won every game. They were never scored on in the season, not 1 point, and just a great story. Yep, he's dead. On to his reward, I guess. That's horrible. And you can imagine the. I'm glad that pastor will need help. I mean, there's going to be a lot of need here, and the community. I feel like community will step up and help them the expense of burial and everything. That's just horrible. Hopefully, they can place them all in the same section, right side by side. That's the right thing to do. For that, that's just horrible, absolutely horrible. Um, God, so that would be. I remember when I said, here many years ago, there was a bus that was hit by a train. Some kids got killed, and I knew people that were involved in that, and I mean, they were, grown men. I mean, these were first responders that were trying to do call outs on the radio on scene, and they were crying. I mean, it traumatized PTSD definitely in this one. Um, I want to hear your take on the activists breaking into the beagle breeding facility in Wisconsin. This is one where they went in and freed the animals. I think it was some animal rights group or something. I only saw a little bit of it. Um, you know, I there's a lot of ways to look at stuff like that. Um, I guess you have to ask yourself at what point do you break the law? Because what they did was, I mean, they definitely broke the law. But yeah, I do support ending. I support ending these torturous experiments on dogs, the Fauci business, and they need to stop. I agree. And it's like the monkey one down in South Georgia that still hasn't been built. They still say they're going to do it. That I just think dogs and monkeys. People would even say mice, but now they say you don't have to use anything. That they've got enough ways to do it without using the animals. But I'm not against using some mice. My personal opinion. But dogs and stuff, yeah, I don't think that should be happening. So, you know, yeah, we just it's one of those things where some people are going to look at it different than others. It's like when Eric Rudolph thought that he was, of course, I'm against abortion, but what he did was he went and he killed people. He bombed it. And there are people that think that that's okay. As a Christian, I've got to obey the laws. I say for myself, there may be at a point where if they forced me that I would have to do something, I would say, no, I'm not going to do it. And if I go to jail, I'll go to jail, but I don't have a right to take the law in my own hands and do whatever. I mean, once the rule of law falls, then it's just Mad Max time. But it's horrible and it needs to stop. You actually rescued a rat from my toilet bowl last week. Okay. Um, and there's a lot of folks that don't agree that you should do that. Again, I don't care either way. There are some that say with what they have now and the ability in these labs, they don't have to do it. Well, good for you, man. That's going above and beyond. A hand down in your own pee. Oh, well, that was scared. Just down in your pee. Um, a Pakistan, and you rescued a Pakistan rat. Good for you, Ernest. Good for you. There's a lot of people I know would not go to that depth, no pun intended, to rescue. Oh, if a law is unjust, as man only right disobeys, obliged to do so. Some wise man, but again, there are laws we don't agree with. It doesn't give us a right to always. I'm saying if for me, if it's unjust for me, I'm not gonna break the law. I'm gonna break the law. For instance, as a pastor, if I was told you have to marry certain people, I'd say no. You can take me to jail, or I can't preach certain things in the Bible. I'm going to jail, and that's just the way it is. But I'm not going to go break in a building or something. I'm just not going to do that. But there are people that look at those things different ways. It goes back to, were Jesse and Frank James, were they freedom crusaders, or were they just wanted to live off others? Because robbing banks and killing people, I've got friends and they love Frank and Jesse James. There are others that say they killed innocent people and were brutal after the war, and just doing their own brand of vigilantism and just basically thieves. You're going to find people on all sides of that, and doing reenactments. And I hope you can catch the interview I did with Eric Johnson. He'll be back. If you go back at people that really are into reenacting and they're into history, I know I can think I have people's faces popping in my head right now that they loved Jesse James, still do. They loved what he did. They applauded what he did because of he was hitting, as they would say, Yankee banks after the war and taking it to them. You have, Ernest says he's been to the site of the Jesse James robbery in Iowa. Okay. And of course, Frank made it through, actually survived jail and everything as he turned himself in. Jesse did not. Lots of testing is done on pregnant monkeys. I knew someone that worked for GlaxoSmithKline and have to order them specifically for testing. They would be ordered by the dozens. It's a big thing in Broski down here in South Georgia. Way back when me and Rob were on the air together, we went down. Of course, he lives about 30 minutes away from the site, 30 minutes or so from the site. We went down our own site and talked to the people that live in the neighborhood, one of the resistant groups. And Kind of talked to people around town. I was made a vacation of it too, and we went to restaurants and talked to people. I asked people, sort of just getting the lay of the land, and but they, it's supposed to house up to 30,000 monkeys in that one. It's not been built. We went to the site that they were going to build. To my knowledge, nothing's been done there yet. They just marked it off. It's been in court. The company that wants to do it is they usually come on from Jacksonville, but they're God, I can't stand to listen to them talk. Bainbridge, it's outside of Bainbridge, Georgia, is the proposed site. There's 15,000 citizens of Bainbridge, and it's 30,000 monkeys up to when they get there. When you were visiting your friend Josh there, I've been in Iowa once. I got to go to the John Deere Pavilion. That's the only thing I've done in Iowa. We crossed over, and that was a big thrill. I enjoyed that. Got to climb up on the $1 million combine. They'd let you do it. They had platform. You go up there and sit down and see what it's like. Watchman, a lot of reading Matthew last night about Jesus and disciples picking corn and eating on the Sabbath, breaking the law. The Pharisees were giving them a hard time, and Jesus schooled them on the law and the Sabbath. He did. Love Matthew. I was in Matthew yesterday morning. So love the book of Matthew. Absolutely. Love all the Word of God, but I love that. So yeah, I think we're all going to. I mean, as things turn more anti-Christian, God, laws are passed and things. I mean, we're all. I mean, here's the thing: we're at some point you pass too many laws, right? And think of all of us, really honestly, all of us break a law every day. To be honest, we do because we don't even realize we're breaking it. Probably the one we break the most is speeding or something, parking violations, whatever it is. So to say we're all not 100% compliant, we break laws because they just keep making more laws. And at some point, how do you even stay compliant? I mean, it's hard to do that. Oh, I visited a store with so many John Deere in the parking lot for sale. Yeah, love the John Deere. I love their. I think I bought a hat there. I think I bought my son a hat. I think I bought me and him one, and I know I brought him one back because he's always loved the John Deere stuff, and he's never been a farmer, never drove one, but he does like the John Deere, and it was a thrill to be there. Um, I like your humor, man. What will happen if Trump and the Pope are put in a wrestling cage? Just wondering. That'd be a good. That'd be a good way to settle some things in the world. Let's go to the cage match. Oh, a lot of Catholics are speaking out. I've been seeing a lot of comments around the world from Catholics over. I'm not Catholic, but reading, and they're very upset with this Pope. And I'm not saying they're fans of Trump or nothing. I'm just saying they're very upset with this Pope and things he has said way before now. And they are not, and they're just like, this guy don't even deserve to be, at any level, much less a Pope, is what they're saying. They're upset with him. So, but I like the idea of the cage match. We had a show once. It's been a long time ago. I can't remember. It seemed like we had who would be interesting matchups in the cage match. I mean, we were thinking about politicians and stuff, and I think even entertainers and stuff. It was kind of fun to talk about. Who would be a good match. This goes back. I remember we were talking about Schiff and Comey and Hillary and different ones. They were different arguments going back and forth, and who we thought might win that cage match. That would be that'd be good. What would be neat if you had like before any war, you had the two leaders meet. They had to go at it first to see if there's even going to be a war, for instead of asking all these people to go out and be cannon fodder, to go out and actually face your your enemy 1-to-1, one on, but it's with the cage match up. Well, they'd enjoy that. Oh, has anybody here ever been to the MMA? I've never been to one. I don't know that I've any watched one. Um, yeah, any law that is repugnant to the Constitution, null and void. Somebody online was talking. A lady. She sent me a video. I've asked her if she ever wanted to come on. She's welcome. She sends a lot of stuff out, but I really like the idea of people that ignore. I've read a book. And a guy he teaches constitutional law and stuff. And one of the biggest things that we lose that's never been followed, is the proper representation for the people. We're supposed to have, I think, based on current levels. Of course, you'd never have a building big enough, but 30,000 representing us, and but they, if you go by the Constitution, but that's never going to happen. But I like that. um, I'm not saying it's not. And by the way, I'm not a Protestant. Some people, I'm not a Protestant. We're not of the ilk, but I understand that there is that. There's a lot of incorrect, but there's a lot of, and that's the thing nowadays. So many people put up so many things lately. I had to correct myself on several things I thought Pope said, but it did not, or did, but really weren't true. And so, yeah, I get it. And a lot of things. I mean, there are so many people putting false things out there through video now. It's really, and most of it's really bad AI. I mean, honestly, it's horrible, but it is fooling a lot of people. They don't even take the time to research the video. They were showing one the other day. Supposedly one of the presidents was in. I was like, that's not him. That's not even good. I mean, it was a horrible AI, a real event that happened, but a horrible AI, and they made it much worse than it really was, and trying to act like the president really died or something. It's just stupidity. My gosh. But somebody will see it and they'll jump on. I go to most things to read the comments. That's really the only reason I watch. Sometimes I don't even watch the video. I just see the title and I go down and read the comments. That's where the real entertainment is. Well, I'm sure they have said that, Broski. I never make, unless, I mean, if I try not to share things that, I don't, I try, I mean, it's caught me a couple of times. I've been wrong. But I try to be very research. I go get multiple sources on stuff before I share a lot of stuff out, unless I'm just really close to it and I already know. Because there's so much fake out there. There are some fake sports sites right now that are reporting so much fake. It's like every day. I'm like, how do you even conceive that? I mean, what's your game? Like, it's outrageous stuff. I mean, not even slightly off. I mean, major off. Like, this player is banned from the league forever. Never happened. People believe it, and they'll go, "Oh man, I can't believe this." And I guess it's just their game. I don't know why they would do that, but stupidity. Try to be truthful. I mean, I think we all would want to be truthful and try to be truthful in what we say. Hey, God bless you, Cook. Love you, man. Appreciate it. She loves you as well. I got to see her laugh a little bit yesterday. We were watching something, and I'm trying to remember. I think it was an old show. Kind of got her laugh. It's good to see her laugh. she had some lasagna last night. We hadn't had that in a while. I just got some for her, and she put some of it up for today, so she likes that. The Pope will always be a target as well. He represents all Christianity. On Christians, there is no leader of the Protestant or Baptist denominations. Well, my leader is Jesus. So we didn't come through that. I didn't come through changing from something to something other than being a sinner, being saved. I wasn't a part of anything that changed from. I wasn't part of that movement. So I said, okay, Ernest is still says the same. That's a term that is used. Amen, Cook. God bless you, brother. How you been? And by the way, are you going to join me Thursday, Cook? Or are you going to find some time for that? I'm just asking. You don't have to, obviously. Just wondering if you could make it. Yeah, we're not Protestant. And we get lumped into that, Watchmen. I'll put that. We get lumped into that sometimes, but we're not. So I understand that. But there's a great the Trinitarian Bible Society. I've gotten a lot of good information from them, and they when you sign up to get some of their stuff, you have to explain because they want to know the date that you became a Protestant and all that or whatever. I'm like, I'm not a Protestant, so I was able to get a lot of resources through them. They offer a lot of good things. The Trinitarian Bible Society. A friend of mine, a Bible teacher, told me about them, but he told me you have to answer these questionnaires. And but anyway, interesting. Oh, I'm glad, man. I hope that you can, man. Yeah, man. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Your team has got what, 2 picks in the first round? The Dallas Cowboys. Um, yeah, 66 books. Yes, broski. I know there are extra biblical books. I have those, many of them, just by way of research. But yeah, I have the Apocrypha. I've read them all. And it's a good source for the in between years for some of it. Some of it's not, but anyway. But I do have those. That's your qualification for being Protestant. It's a difference. There's other differences, man. I understand, but um, good discussion. We'll have to have for another time because I got to go. I got to go. I got to get moving. It's almost 7. Work today. See tonight. We have some sort of program tonight. I'm not sure. I'm hoping my pro life group can be on. My other group had to back out. The other group said they could come on tonight, and I know I'm not a Calvinist. I remember I went and preached before a bunch of men at a reenactment, and I had everything you could think of. But it was pretty neat. I preached a message to be a good soldier for Jesus Christ, and even the Calvinists said, "You know what? I enjoyed that." I said, "We know we have differences, but I enjoyed that. It was really good. I had everything from the unbelievers." Yeah, see you again, man. Ernest, have a blessed day. Hope you don't have to catch no more rats down in the pee. That sounds like above and beyond duty right there. You have a blessed day, my friend. Thank you, Broski. Thank you, Watchman. Thank you, Cook. God bless you. I do got to get out of here, get to work. Got to get moving. Got to help the wife a couple things before my sister comes up. She may already be there. I'll help her with them, but got to move on. And then we'll see you this afternoon at some point after 5. Take care. God bless. All the good things. Salute. There's the music.